Ready to rumble. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Redflex, the one and only channel in the whole world run by 4 Manchester United supporting brothers. But that cannot be the only reason why you want to watch this channel. Yes, we may have a little bit more credibility because we are from Manchester. Yes, I said it. Makes us more credible than certain other fans. And we live here. We go to the games. Yeah, it's nice. Not trying to say that those of you around the world who've never been to Old Trafford don't have the love for United that we have, but obviously we have a different type of love, which we're going to explain to you. Cass, this is your little brainchild. What are you trying to bring across to the fans?
Yeah, I think it's very important to kind of let the viewers who kind of invest their time in us to kind of understand what we're about. And I think so far we haven't actually done that. And I think Man United, like I said, you can't just watch us because we support Man United and we're brothers. There's a lot of billions of Man United fans, but we just want to kind of explain to everybody how much this kind of means to us. Like, apart from your family, there's a lot of people that come and go in your life, but there's been one constant love, and that's been Manchester United.
Wow, that's emotional there. Brought a tear to my eye, that did. Brought a tear to my eye.
Straight from the heart.
Straight from the heart. So we'll kick it off with Cass. Why do you support Man United?
It's quite fitting that you actually asking me that question, Usman, because I think without me actually answering this, the answer is for everybody to see, and it's the man on the left of your screen, the older statesman, the tribal chief, the main event, Mr. WrestleMania, the showcase of them all, everything rolled into one. Obviously, you kind of look up to your older brother and you kind of think, oh, he supports Man United. That means that I have to support Man United. So you can kind of say it was given to me to start off with, the love for Manchester United, obviously within the family. But then obviously since then, it's just been kind of everyone's own kind of individual love for Man United. But obviously as brothers, we get to talk about it, which is really good. But I think it kind of started with you could handing over the keys to Old Trafford to me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, don't know if you're aware, because obviously this began before you were born, is one of our cousins who, funnily enough, used to live across the road from Main Road. Now, some of you plastic Manchester City fans, you hungry.
I don't think they know what that is.
That's what I mean. They don't know what it is. These glory hunters, plastic Man City fans. I bet you don't even know what that is. Main Road actually used to be your stadium before the Etihad. That used to be your stadium. That used to be, for those of you who are from Manchester, literally behind Wimslow Road, literally behind Curry Mile. That's where the stadium was, which is now obviously a housing estate. So that was Main Road. Our cousin used to live literally across the road from Main Road, but he was a huge Manchester United fan. Now, at the time, I would like to play sports, but I was never really a follower of football. Probably because this is like, we didn't have Sky. It was just sort of whatever came on TV, Champions League, etc., etc. So that's what we used to watch. That's what it was. And then he kind of was like, no, we're Man United. Man United is the way. So this was
the only way.
Yeah, this was the only way. So this was before anyone says anything. This was before Man United won any title under Fergie. So this is going back. I don't want to reveal my age, but this was the pre title winning season.
We have to get some paid adverts before you start thinking about
that. Yeah. So this was pre. This is before Man United won the league. I think this was Liverpool's dominance. Leeds at this point were at the top of the table in the Champions League. They were in Europe. So this was the days. So yeah, this is when obviously Man United were up there, but they weren't the force. So this was the time Man United became my club, and never looked back really. then obviously that was that. Leading on from that, obviously when we were younger, I think this is another reason why you probably became a Man United fan, is we didn't have Sky in those days, so we just kind of used to wait around for like match of the day
teletext.
or
Remember the teletext?
yeah, the teletext. Yeah, we used to look at the scores on teletext, and we used to wait for match of the day and the Saturday
I've got
morning,
one
whatever
thing
the
for you, sir. Do you remember
yeah
the grandstand? That was a highlight on the Saturday.
yeah the
Grandstand with the
grandstand.
guy. What was he called?
Yeah,
That guy that used to do it?
Des Lynam.
Des Lynam, that's the one.
It was Des
That's the
Lynam
one.
grandstand early doors. So yeah, Saturday morning they used to show the highlights of the week before. Obviously Saturday evening it was match of the day. So I think you probably didn't really have a choice. So every time there was some sort of Man United related thing, there was only one TV. So you had to watch it.
So I don't lie when I say I've got Man United in my blood. So that's
Yeah,
not just
yeah.
for
From young.
PR
Yeah,
purposes.
before he even knew what it was, he was there, sat around watching it with us, with his little nappy on.
Quite a big nappy though.
Yeah, quite. It was always full, always full.
I was a hungry lad. I don't think that's changed. I'm still
Growing lad,
hungry.
still growing lad. So, what is your actual? Obviously, you're a lot younger than me. What is your actual first solid memory of Manchester United?
First solid man. I think because over time I've kind of watched some older stuff, so it kind of gets
Yeah,
mixed in my brain that whether did I see it at the time or have I just watched it afterwards. But I do remember my very first time where I was literally sat like inches away from the TV, glued to the TV. I think it was the 96 or 97 final, Man United versus Liverpool, and Eric Cantona scored. I
yeah.
think it was like from the corner, and it was like a last minute, maybe extra time. From what I remember, it was last minute of
It
extra
was
time
late
or
goal. I
last
don't
minute.
think. Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was late. It was late goal. Yeah,
And at that
outside
time,
the
when I was
box. Outside the
yeah,
box, half volley. Yeah, that one.
and I was like, wow, like I felt so happy that day, and I felt, does it really feel like this good to be, a fan? And I think since then, yeah,
That was that. I think mine may have been probably one of the very. I think I can't remember the exact game, but it was sort of the Steve Bruce Pallister era.
yeah,
It was the Steve Bruce
Ferguson
Pallister
celebrating on
era.
the touchline.
Yeah,
I remember that.
those ones. That was the earliest one. Like I said, it was a bit difficult to have a solid memory. Like I said, we didn't really have Sky, and it was sort of
Yeah.
just match of the day and little clips and highlights and things like that. So that was the majority of the content. Or we used to be on teletext, just refreshing the page, waiting to see if United had scored. That was the main thing. Leading on from that, so obviously now we've talked about our earliest memories on television and things like that. When did you actually get to go to Old Trafford? What was your very first game at Old Trafford?
My very first game at Old Trafford, I think it was it was unfortunately a pre-season game, but it was a
Okay.
sellout. I remember it was against Inter Milan. I'm not sure if
Okay.
you were actually there
No, I
with me
wasn't
at the
there.
time.
No, I wasn't.
I think maybe Harris, maybe even Farouk. But my very first Man United game, I think it was me. It was all four of us actually. We went to Wembley to watch the Community Shield,
Oh yeah, we did. We drove down.
United
Yeah.
versus Chelsea, and I think Giggs may have scored, and then Lampard equalised, and then we won on penalties.
Yeah.
Van der Sar had one or two saves, so I think that was my first time actually even to a whole game. I went to Wembley to watch United Community
Wow.
Shield, but Charity
Yeah.
Shield, whatever you want to call it. But good introduction to Man United.
I think mine, like I said, it was later on in life that I actually went to Old Trafford. But my very first match that I ever went to was a Champions League match. I think you might remember it. It was Manchester United 6, Galatasaray 3.
Just the
And a
debut of
certain Mr. Wayne Rooney debut. That was my very first game at Old Trafford. I was sat behind the goal that Rooney scored his third, which he was a free kick.
He must have
He
been
scored
absolutely
his
buzzing.
absolutely was over the moon. 9 goal
Six over.
thriller. And it was just like when I even went, I remember as soon as I got out of the game, I think I rang like one
So
of
the
these
beauty
talk
of the
sport.
Redflex, to interrupt, I'm actually just going to go to the door and get a takeaway, but I'll be back in 1 minute.
He's going to the takeaway. Oh my days. So anyway, I'll continue.
Go
So
get a
I
text.
was,
You're right to continue there.
yeah, I'm always happy to continue.
I will be
No
back.
problem. Yeah. So I went to, yeah, I came out of the game. I was absolutely buzzing. You know, Rooney debut, brand new signing, scored a hat trick. I was gassed. I was ringing like,
You have live TV,
I was
eh?
ringing
You have
like,
live TV.
I was ringing like Talk Sport, and I was like, yeah, this guy, you know, he's gonna change everything. He's next level, and blah de blah, this, that, and the other. So yeah, I was happy that day. I was very happy. That was my very first match. So the Rooney era. So I think obviously, like I said, you're a bit young, but I think because your first memory was sort of 97.
Yeah, 97. Yeah.
So 97. So if that was your first, then you should be pretty clear on where were you when Solskjaer won it. Where were
I'm
you?
really
I know
glad
where you
you
were.
asked that question.
I know where you were, but what you want to tell our
I wasn't so
subscribers?
far away.
Yeah.
The location isn't a grand location, but hopefully the way I describe it is what's going to make it for the people that are watching. So I remember this very, very clearly. Well, not very clearly, but I remember at least 95% of it. So I was sat down in the living room and I had the final on. And I remember, I think it was Mario Basler put it under the wall and we were 1-0 down. And as the game went on, my frustrations increased, and I thought, I can't believe that we're actually going to lose this. I was like sick to my stomach because at that point, like when you're a kid and like I was first few years into watching football and, you know, United were winning stuff. And I thought Champions League final, Bayern Munich, Nou Camp. And I thought, are we really going to lose this? Are we really not even going to put a fight? Because I think there was times where nothing was going on, especially in the second half. And then I remember the substitutions that Fergie brought on. And at that point, I could not say that I thought like it was going to end the way it was going to end. And then obviously Sheringham scored and I was going absolutely crazy. But then I remember when actually Solskjaer won it. You know where obviously the TV is in the corner?
Yeah.
So I was literally in front of that TV, and as soon as Solskjaer scored, I ran towards our dining table and did a sliding celebration. I forgot we had carpet, and I had carpet burns the next day.
Oh,
but I thought it was on the pitch. I felt that moment, that elation. The elation, that is still like up till now, probably like a moment that just sends kind of goosebumps and kind of chills down your back.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that I've gone a bit calmer now watching Man United since then. I remember when we all used to watch it together, and it used to be intense. There used to be intensity. There used to be like every shot used to be we used to scream at the TV for every shot, every like wayward pass. Now it's.
Do you remember if we would go 1-0 down, we'd be like, what? Like, what?
Yeah.
We're 1-0 down.
State of shock. But always knew that we were going to do something. Always knew that we were going to do something.
Like,
but
even if we were 1-0 down and there were 10 minutes to go, we were all relaxed. You're comfortable. Like, yeah, we got this. We got this.
We'll do 10 minutes. Yeah. 10 minutes was a lot. Then we were like, yeah, we're going to get some chances. We're going to do something. The other thing, funnily enough, you talked about the Champions League. Are you still there? It went a bit quiet.
Yeah, I'm still there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So funnily enough about the Champions League, that semi-final. So the semi-final of the Champions League where we were playing Juventus.
Yeah, I remember that.
Where we got 2 goals down. The television was switched off in our house.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure all 4 of us there, we all scrabbled like to our rooms. I went off. I don't know who the first person was to sneak back, but I think it was maybe the inkling, maybe the equalizer gone in, or we'd got one back.
I don't know how we'd even remembered. I think we just kind of switched it on a little bit later and then realized that we'd actually back in the game. But yeah, that 2-0 against Juventus, where I think we were 2 down quite early on. And then we were like, right,
the man who was born offside, Pippo Inzaghi.
Yeah, Filippo Inzaghi doing the damage. Stealing a living, this guy. Stealing a living. Yeah. Absolutely brings nothing to the table.
He was born offside.
I don't know. Yeah, he was born offside. He's absolutely just stole a living as a footballer just by being a goal poacher, goal hanging extraordinaire. But yeah, that the television was actually switched off fully. 2-0 down. We were like, that's it. We were broken.
That is the God honest truth as well, because I was going to say,
yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
TV went off.
Yeah, and then it came back on, and then we watched. I think we watched Keane. No, I think did we watch Keane?
No, we've seen the King goal. I remember seeing the King goal.
Yeah, I remember seeing the Keane goal, and then obviously the is it Andy Cole, Dwight York? Yeah, Andy Cole. Full speed ahead, Barcelona.
Full speed ahead, Barcelona.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
Was it
that
not the
very clearly.
Cole and York did a 1-2, didn't they?
1-2, Cole and York. So yeah, full speed ahead,
they
Barcelona.
They as well, I think, that same year, didn't they? That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Yeah, that was a beautiful one as well. So we've had a very good memory. So you talked about the 99, 2008 would have been much more vivid for you. Again, I think that was another sort of heart in mouth moment.
Yeah.
I think the penalty shootout was just agony because when John Terry stepped up, I thought he's done it.
Yeah, you knew it was over. Like everything pointed towards it being over.
I think Ronaldo missed a penalty.
Yeah, he missed the penalty.
Yeah, when he missed the penalty, I'd lost all faith because I was like, the main guy, the fulcrum of the team. If he's missed it, it's not our day. I just thought it's not our day today. And then when that save came out, I don't know why I remember watching it upstairs.
Was it not the room where Harrison Ubbe's?
Yeah, I'm sure there was a TV there, and then they had a bunk bed in there, and I was sat at the top watching it, and so the rest of you was sat at the bottom. Yeah,
and comfortably putting my head under.
Yeah, so that was another scream fest that we had. Because I remember Mum used to be like, "Why? You must be watching football." Because we used to scream the house down, all of us.
Well, other few niceties probably exchanged as well.
Yeah, a bit of colourful language. Colourful language. Yeah. Passion. So yeah, that was that. What else have we got? I think there was the Man United Barcelona losses.
They were two painful defeats.
Very painful.
I remember the one in Rome. That one I was actually fairly confident because at that time I remember Barcelona weren't like Barcelona as we know it right now. So they were getting to the levels of obviously what we've seen over the last 10 years. But I think Frank Rijkaard had just left the year before. So I think it was Guardiola's first year. And then especially that Messi header, that I was like, have we really let Messi score with his ear?
Yeah, Has
that really happened?
I remember this one. I'd watching it out somewhere.
Did you watch it out?
I watched it out somewhere. And the funny thing about this one is that we were watching it out somewhere, and there was someone had a Man United shirt on.
Yeah.
And when Barcelona scored, he got up, started screaming, took off his Man United shirt, and there was a Barcelona shirt underneath.
No.
Absolute troll. And I was like seething just looking at him because he was like, "Yeah, come on." And honestly, I wanted to beat him up. Honestly, I wanted to kick him in.
Obviously, you didn't do that.
Obviously, I didn't do that because I'm a professional. I'm a man who's in control of his emotions. So I didn't do that. But yeah, I felt like it. Obviously, I can, as you can imagine, when someone's trolling you like that, gets to you a little bit, especially, it was in a highly charged atmosphere, a lot of fans all together. But yeah, it was. That's why I remember those. That's what stands out about those defeats. Otherwise, I've kind of just blocked them out of my mind.
Yeah.
That could have been a period of huge dominance for Man United if it wasn't for that Barcelona team, because Man United were second best team in the world.
3-4 years we were getting finals, semi-finals, finals.
Yeah, we were literally the second best team in the world, and if it wasn't for that amazing Barcelona team, you'd be talking about Man United in a much different light now. Because
even bigger than what we were.
Yeah, even bigger, because those Champions Leagues would have just cemented us as the team of that era.
Probably Fergie would have got a bit more recognition as well.
Yeah, I think Fergie. I think he's got the recognition, but I think if he'd got those Champions Leagues, I think his legacy would have been eternal. I think it still is, but yeah, no one can touch him now. But I think that would be a record that would never be broken.
Mm.
That would be a record that would never be broken. I feel as though. Getting back to domestic matters, so Derby Day was always a wonderful occasion. What do you used to think about any particular derbies that stand out for you?
I do actually have a funny story about, well, I'll let you and everyone else be the judge of how funny it is. But I was in first year or second year of uni. Again, won't say dates or times. Well, actually, I'll kind of give it away anyway. But anyway, I was working in Primark, out of all places. In the women's fitting rooms, I was working in an absolute hot, blazing day, getting absolutely screamed at by crazy women. Like they're scary in retail. Let me tell you, like they don't care about anyone. They will push you. They will kick you. They'll kill you if they have to get their deals. But anyway, so at that point, it was Man United versus Man City game, and it was the game where we won 3-2. When Michael Owen scored in the last minute.
Was that 4-3? So that 3-2 was that 4-3? I've got a funny feeling it's 4-3, you know. I don't know why. It might have been. Could have been 3-2, I don't know. Well, you carry on, I'm going to check that.
Okay, check that. And then, obviously, I was at work, so I was absolutely devastated. Like, I tried booking holidays, I tried everything, swapping shifts. I did obviously think about pulling a sickie, but obviously I'm too much of a professional for that. So didn't do that. And then opposite Primark, if you know, in city centre of Manchester, there's a bet. Is it a Bet3? No, not Bet365. What is it?
Ladbrokes or something?
Let's call it Ladbrokes. I can't remember which one it was. Ladbrokes. And then on the left of side, there's like a pub, isn't there? That usually shows all the football near the Pizza Hut, you know, on the side street.
Yeah.
So somehow, some way, some communication was coming from this pub, which was right next to Primark, and scores, like the news were filtering to like the people that are working there, because obviously we're not allowed to like have our phones out. So obviously I had a murmur that it was 2-1. And then, well, depending on whether it was 3-2 or 4-3, I found out that Man City had actually equalised. I think Bellamy scored in the 90th minute, 91st minute, and I was like, what? Like, because obviously I was working in Primark, not the most cheerful of places, so that was kind of keeping me going. Like, you know, United are winning, and then somebody told me it was equal or draw. And then out of nowhere, I remember this manager out of nowhere, he just ran from one corridor of Primark all the way to another, saying, yeah, Man United, come on. And I'm just looking, thinking, what on earth is going on here? And I'm trying to find out. And then he's like, oh, Michael Owen just scored 95th minute. And it's like the whole of Primark became like Old Trafford. And everybody was just going crazy. Like people buying stuff were going crazy. Like everyone just erupted. Like that always kind of memory kind of stays with me.
Is this place called the Shakespeare?
Possibly, yeah.
Someone
not the biggest of places. It's a small pub right next to Primark.
I don't know. The comment here seems to think it's called the Shakespeare. I don't know. And the same commenter, Hasa, says, as an Arsenal supporter, the 8-2 will always haunt me. Yeah, the 8-2 was I remember it.
I felt sorry for Arsenal Wenger that day. I don't know.
Yeah.
I actually felt sorry for him.
Yeah, I didn't expect that result, not with the team that we put out. But yeah, it's a good memory, but it's not one of the top. Like the Derby days for me have been great. Obviously, I've seen the ones where we've been beaten. The Rooney overhead kick derby, always a good one. Always a good one. I remember I was on the way to a wedding in Swindon or down south anyway, and I was watching it. I was watching a stream on my phone.
Not many people can say that, wedding in Swindon.
Yep. So I was watching it on a stream on my phone, and I was just screaming at the phone on the motorway. when
An
you know, I
official
wasn't driving.
theme song, by the way, for anybody wondering.
I wasn't driving, by the way, as well. I
Yeah.
was the passenger. I was the passenger. So yeah, I was watching that one. That was a wonderful memory. Later on, the RVP deflected free kick in the 90th minute.
Yeah.
That was a wonderful one as well. Quite a few actually.
Well, I remember I was in Pakistan and it was a massive game, and I was devastated that I was going to miss it. It was an Arsenal Man United Highbury game. And I think it was 3-2, where Ronaldo came up at the back post and kind of just tapped it in. Do you remember that one? We were wearing like a black kit.
Rooney scored a few there as well.
Rooney scored as well, yeah.
Yeah.
And we beat him like at Highbury after a long time. I think it might be 97, 98.
Yeah. Some intense games. No, it would have been later than that. Because
Later.
Rooney and Ronaldo came a lot later.
2002, 2003.
Something like that, yeah. That was the peak time for the rivalry, Man United rivalry, Arsenal. So finally, because we've talked a lot about our memories of Manchester United, the class of '92. What are your thoughts about the class of '92?
It's difficult to say things that have not already been said about the class of '92, but just from like a personal point of view, I think the time that I was kind of growing up supporting United, I think that was probably the time where I think before it used to be like Brian Robson and Pallisters and the Bruces, the Irwins, that kind of team kind of being phased out. And when I started watching it, I think the Beckhams, the Butts, Gary Neville, Phil Neville, Scholes. I remember, what was that? What was he called now? There was another kid that didn't end up making it. Something, is it Thornhope or something?
Ben Thornley.
Ben Thornley, that's the one.
Ben Thornley.
I remember he was coming up, but obviously I think he got injured or he didn't really play. He only used to play like what it used to be called the Carling Cup or something. I remember at the time. And so for me, the only thing that I've known is obviously players like, you know, Neville's and the Scholes, because I've seen him for so long in gigs and win all these trophies, and I only seen success. So for me, like they mean everything to Man United, because they're the one constant. Obviously now they then got phased out and we're in a new chapter now. But I think United always will be kind of synonymous with the Nevilles, the Scholes, the class of '92, just because of how successful they were and they all came in at the same time. I don't think that's ever happened before. Unlikely to happen again. But we have been quite fortunate with young players over the years. We've always somehow got young players coming in, but not at like that many at the same time.
Not of that quality as well. Not of that quality as well. That's the thing. Yeah, for me, again, because they were like homegrown and you knew they were Man United fans, that's what just gets to you now. Like even now, like when I see like even like Ogalo, even though he's not obviously from Manchester or whatever, but because he just got that passion for Man United, and you just know he's a fan. You just gotta love him. So
you know, again, give his all.
Yeah, same with those. Like you knew they were like Man United fans deep down. So that's what kind of gives you that more love towards them as well. So they were obviously part of a very successful period for Man United, and the fact that they were all Man United fans and it came through the academy. Obviously, they have a special place for us when it comes to just football. I remember the first season. I remember watching that very match of the day, the very famous Alan Hansen match of the day. You know, you'll never win anything with kids. I saw it. I was there to see it. And I thought, yeah, United, we have lost the plot. Yeah. I was like, Fergie has lost the plot. What is he doing? Like, what is going on here? I was like, just so confused as to what was going on. I think we lost. Was it 3-0 to Villa, first game of the season? Yeah. So I was very confused as to what was going on. But then that same season, obviously, Beckham scored his halfway line free kick. And it was
iconic goal.
Yeah, iconic moments, iconic goals. And then it was just kind of, he just had the faith. He had the faith in whatever he did. And the fact that we were winning titles with sometimes very poor squads. Obviously, we had a great squad for a very long time, but towards the later end of Fergie's career, he was winning titles with very, very poor squads, if you think about it now.
Yeah, I think we've been very fortunate to be part of such a, if you look back at it, so special, like something that you're probably never going to see again.
Yeah.
absolute era of domination where, you know, you'd win the league year in, year out. If you don't win it one year, you're definitely winning it the year after. And it became the norm. Like that
Yeah.
sustained success became a norm. Took it for granted. So it was a bit of a reality check, and that's why it's so difficult to come to terms with some of the things that you see with United.
Here we go. Got a controversial one from the Arsenal fan. How long do you reckon before Man United are lifting the trophy again? Realistically,
Well, a trophy or Premier League is probably thinking.
Yeah, I think he's saying it's that trophy, so maybe he's talking about the PL.
Yeah.
If he's saying the Premier League, like as a one-off, I think we may, if we find some consistency, maybe in the conversation this year, but then next year it'll go back to Liverpool and Man City dominance. So if we're going to do anything, as in just make a dent at it or be in the conversation, if we can find some consistency, yes, maybe. But it realistically, when we're like fighting for it on a regular basis, I don't see it in the next 5 years. I don't see it. What about you?
I think the saddest thing, well, not the saddest thing, but everything that you're saying, I agree with. But just following off the conversation that we've had before, I'm sat here, the inner kind of voice of me saying, what? In 5 years, you're going to be in or about just to be in the reckoning? Like,
realistically, yeah. Because I think this Liverpool and Man United, Man City teams will die. Yeah, we've fallen so far. That's what it is. So see the Arsenal fans, see how they do it. They ask a nice question, then they diss themselves a little bit, humble themselves by talking about the 8-2. Then they ask a normal question, and then the venom comes out. So then it's like, say no more. That reaction said it all. Lol. Any trophy for that matter. We're talking about trophies that actually matter. We're not talking about the odd FA Cup or things like that. We're talking about the real trophies. Not the random ones. That's why my lean towards the Premier League was much more important. I know that your next observation was going to be, haha, well, I would have said something like, well, we'll win it before Arsenal. And then you'd have come back with, well, we won the FA Cup. So I know where you're going with this. So unfortunately, the mind games, the psychology, I'm the professor when it comes to that. But it was a nice try. It was a nice try. But yeah, realistically, I'm realistic enough to say that yeah, we're not in that conversation at the moment, as far as I can see. But yeah, it's a very good questions, by the way, from yourself. Thanks for that. But yeah, I'd like to think so. I think we're not far away. The only problem we have is consistency.
We win that game in hand.
Yeah, but winning the game in hand now puts us 2 points away. But then we lose the next two, and then we're back in the mid-table fight again. So it's not really something. But yeah, I'd like to think so. I think
that's going to be a separate show, but I'm not so confident about it. You know how we are when we go to West Ham.
Yeah, again, West Ham.
We won't really talk
West Ham are always West Ham are always a little dodgy one. But yeah, those are some of our memories of Manchester United. We'll probably dwell on certain topics from the past as well. Probably will talk about that era of Manchester United versus Arsenal, which was I think that was one of the wonderful periods of football. I know that some people think that it's not nice when only two teams are in the conversation for the Premier League, but I think that's always going to be the case. There's always going to be two dominant teams, maybe three at a push, but it's always going to be a two-horse race, whichever way you look at it. And that era of Manchester United versus Arsenal, before Twitter, before all of this social media, it was intense. Like, you looked forward to it in a different way. Like now, I think because you get bombarded with messages from all these various social media sources, I think your kind of excitement is not as intense as it is when you're just waiting a whole week for something to happen and you're scratching around for bits of information, and now you can get too much information. But that's a topic for another show. What do you think? Do you think it was more intense back then?
I absolutely agree. I think at that point, football fans in general used to be different in terms of like society-wise, in terms of how we used to consume kind of football. Now it's, again, you know, like social media. The only good thing, obviously, coming out of social media, the Redflex, obviously.
The best thing on social media. Yeah, we got it right here. The Redflex on Twitter and the Redflex official on Instagram.
I think if I wasn't hosting the show, I had anything to do with the show, and I kind of watch this channel and look at these lovely handles, looking at, you know, all this professional bells, whistles, you name it, everything, I would want to subscribe. Why would you not want to subscribe to this?
I would have already been subscribed. Soon as I seen that mustache, I'd have subscribed straight away. That lovely mustache, I'd have subscribed just on that, just for that.
I'm actually thinking about getting it insured. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's worth its weight in gold. 95% of our subscribers have said that they only joined for the mustache.
And what a great decision that was.
Yeah, we did a Twitter
poll. Mustache on YouTube.
Yeah, it's the best mustache on YouTube.
Let's get my mustache trending. Let's get it trending. I'll add it in the description. Let's get Kasim's mustache trending.
Yeah,
we probably won't be getting far with it, but I thought I'd plug it anyway.
But yeah, so that was some of our memories of Manchester United over the years. We'll probably talk about it in more detail, specific things like specific periods in time for, you know, like I said, the Man United Arsenal thing was wonderful. I thought that was one of the best moments in Premier League football. The intensity, the fact that they were two very evenly matched teams in terms of like the talent that they had available to them. Obviously, United being slightly better, but yeah, but two wonderful teams, great attacking football, intensity, passion, fights in the tunnel. You know, two charismatic captains. It was a wonderful period of Premier League, and we'll talk about that and maybe some other periods as well, maybe the United Chelsea and the, you know, all of these different things. But yeah, we are the Redflex. We are from Manchester. We support Manchester United. We do talk about other football teams as well, but we only have one love, and that love is Manchester United. Check us out next time for the Manchester United versus West Ham United preview video, where we'll be there giving you all the updates on injuries, what we think tactically United should do. It'll be an interesting one off the back of the previous game. Anything else you want to say, Cass, before we go?
Yeah, the only thing is that hopefully for everybody that's watching, you kind of understand that this isn't just about, you know, a channel on YouTube or Four Brothers or just United. We just want everybody to have a platform where they can kind of express their love for Man United. And hopefully we can get as many people on board as we possibly can.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.